All right, differentiated instruction. So what is it? It is a framework or philosophy for effective teaching that involves providing different avenues for learning. So it promotes participation and progress in the general curriculum. Because students vary in culture, language, ability, disability, all those things. Obviously, no two students are the same, so they're not going to learn the same way. So we need to take that into consideration. So if a teacher considers all the individual needs of their students, they can develop those personalized instructions so that all of the students can learn effectively in their own way. Okay, so how can teachers differentiate instruction? They can use more than one instructional method, so they can increase students' access to instructional materials in a variety of formats. And they can expand their test-taking options. And then if they vary the complexity and the nature of the content they are teaching, that can be effective too. So differentiated instruction is a companion to universal design because they both aim to accommodate all of the students. Whether they have learning disabilities or not, they work with all of them. Um, so also another thing to consider is the physical environment, so the classroom. So how the teacher uses that space is really important. The environmental elements and sensitivities such as the lighting in the room, the little things like that you need to think about. The space should be flexible, so there should be areas for quiet reading and individual work time, as well as space for group work, working on projects, playing games, doing all sorts of things. So teachers can design lesson plans based on the students' learning styles. They can group the students based on their interests and abilities. Um, and they can continually assess and adjust the lesson plans accordingly. And then just manage the classroom to support a safe and supportive environment. That's really important. So here are some scenarios that are not practicing differentiated instruction. So scenario A was delivering instruction primarily by lecturing. Not all students will benefit from sitting and listening to someone talk for a while. I know that's not my favorite way to learn. So, I mean, you can lose their attention really easily. So an alternative to that could be introducing the material in the form of a game or maybe even playing videos over the topic, just things to keep them more engaged. And then scenario B, if you don't permit the students to retake a test that they might have failed. So there could be many reasons why a student fails a test. They might truly not understand what's going on and may have been too scared to ask questions when class was going on. They could have been having a really off day, there's so many things that could have happened. So instead, you could talk to the student, find out what's going on, and then maybe make sure that they feel comfortable, they know what's going on, and then they can retest and do better. As long as they know the content, that's really the most important thing. Um, and then scenario C, group students at the beginning of the year based on previous year's achievement scores. So I think that students can benefit from learning from their peers, so I don't think that this is the best method. I think that they should be grouped with lots of different students, not just those that match their achievement ability, especially the previous year. So, and then scenario D gives bonus points for participation. I think that this could give off the idea that participating isn't that important, or if the student doesn't really care about the bonus points, then they're not going to participate. So maybe not introduce it that way and just create lesson plans and plan things that the students will want to participate in. That way everyone's involved in learning. And then scenario E, giving a test every Friday. So I find that to be a little overkill. I know I don't like tests, and I think testing is a good way to measure progress, but it's not the only way. Um, so, I mean, this could also cause kids to not like Fridays. They could not like coming to school because they know there's going to be a test every day. So that's no good. It would probably do that for me. So I think you should limit the testing and only do that when necessary, and then just use other methods to teach. So, I mean, there's quite a few pros to differentiated instruction, but research has shown that it's very effective for high ability students as well as students with mild to severe disabilities. So it's really something that works with everyone, which is awesome. And then students tend to take more responsibility for their own learning when they're given more options on how they learn the material. So, I mean, this makes sense. If they can decide how they're learning it, then they will probably want to learn it. So I think this is a really great thing.